Welcome to the deep dive. Look, you're driven. Whether you're leading a company, coaching a team, or performing at the highest athletic level, you're aiming high.
Absolutely.
And this deep dive, it's really laser focused on giving you an edge. We're jumping straight into the science of grit. This is based on the work of psychologist Angela Duckworth and really brought into practical terms by Coach Ed Padalecki.
Right. Coach P really translates it well.
So our mission today, let's cut through the hype. What is grit really, and how can you harness it for those big goals?
Well, it's fundamental stuff for anyone pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
And Coach Padalecki makes Duckworth's research quite clear. The core idea is actually pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Grit is basically intense passion plus intense perseverance.
Passion and perseverance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just liking something vaguely. It's a real deep commitment. And then crucially, the daily relentless effort to follow through. Doesn't matter about setbacks. Doesn't matter how long it takes.
And Coach Padalecki points right away to something critical in Duckworth's work. This idea of effort. It's not just one piece of the puzzle.
No, it's huge. He calls attention to her formula for success. Are you familiar with that?
Remind me.
It's talent times effort equals skill.
Okay.
Then skill times effort equals achievement.
Effort shows up twice.
Exactly. Effort counts twice. That's the key takeaway Coach P emphasizes.
That's powerful.
And it's compelling for high performers like you listening. Talent, how quickly you pick things up. That's just the start.
Right, the initial spark.
Effort is what actually builds that raw talent into a usable skill. And then it's effort again that takes that skill and turns it into real-world results, into achievement.
So effort is the engine, really.
Twice over.
Which means, and Coach Padalecki makes this point, you see these incredibly talented people who just fizzle out.
Happens all the time. Unfulfilled potential.
Because they don't put in that consistent work. And then you see others, maybe less natural talent initially.
But they achieve amazing things.
Through sheer relentless effort. It's actually quite empowering when you think about it that way.
Totally. And Coach Padalecki often brings up that Calvin Coolidge quote, the one
Which one's that?
about persistence. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. He goes on about genius being unrewarded, education not being enough.
The world is full of educated derelicts.
Yeah, I know it.
The punchline is, persistence and determination alone are omnipotent.
It really lands, doesn't it? Especially for this audience. Innate
Yeah.
ability isn't the final word.
Not at all. It's the showing up day after day, consistent commitment.
And that's the habit Coach P identifies in peak performers. They show up every day. Simple as that.
It's not about waiting for the mood to strike or for perfect conditions. It's just doing the work relentlessly. Okay, so Coach Padalecki, building on Duckworth, he breaks grit down into 4 kind of pillars.
That's right. 4 key components.
Let's dig into the first one, passion, that internal spark.
And the key thing Coach Padalecki highlights here is that this isn't just like fleeting excitement. True passion, the kind that fuels grit, it comes from intrinsic motivation.
So internal drive, not external stuff.
Exactly. Not chasing applause or rewards.
Yep.
If your drive is only about what others think or getting that next trophy, it probably won't last through the really tough stretches. Grit needs something deeper.
Coach P uses a great analogy here, compass versus fireworks.
Oh, that's a good one.
Fireworks are those bright, exciting bursts, but they fade fast. But real passion, that's the compass. It's that deep internal direction finder that keeps pointing you forward, giving you purpose, even when it's hard.
A constant guide.
So the question for you listening is, what's your compass? What truly, deeply pulls you forward?
That leads nicely into the second pillar, practice. The relentless reps.
Right. Passion isn't enough on its own.
No way. Coach Padalecki is very clear that passion needs to be paired with consistent, deliberate effort. That spark, you got to fuel it with work, with practice aimed at getting better.
Deliberate practice, not just going through the motions.
Precisely. Coach P points out that gritty people don't just practice when they feel like it or when they're motivated.
They build systems, right?
Yes. They actually structure their lives, their routines to make sure they're consistently putting in the work, the reps, focused on improving. Bit by bit, day by day. It's about building a system for growth, not waiting for inspiration.
Okay, passion practice. What's the third pillar?
The third is purpose. Beyond yourself. This adds another really important layer.
Going beyond just personal gain.
Exactly. Coach Padalecki emphasizes that when your hard work connects to something bigger than just you, maybe it's your team's success or making a real difference for your clients or even inspiring the next generation.
That provides a different kind of fuel.
A more powerful, more enduring kind of motivation. Yes. It helps you keep going when things get really tough.
Coach P asks a really relevant question here, especially for high achievers. Who benefits from your hard work?
It's a crucial question.
Because if it's only about your own stats or the corner office or just superficial wins,
You risk burning out. That's what he suggests.
but connecting to a bigger purpose, that gives you resilience, a deeper well to draw from.
Absolutely. Which brings us to the fourth pillar. Hope. The power to push through.
Because setbacks will happen.
Inevitable. Coach Padalecki stresses this. Grit isn't about somehow avoiding failure or difficulty. It's all about how you respond when you hit those walls.
So hope isn't just wishful thinking here.
Not at all. In the context of grit, hope is more like optimism plus resilience. It's the underlying belief that your actions today can actually shape a better outcome tomorrow, even when things look bleak right now.
It's belief in your own agency, maybe.
That's a good way to put it. And Coach P observes that the highest performers, they don't just sort of cope with failure. They actively learn from it. They adapt, they adjust, they keep moving. They see challenges not as dead ends, but as data points. Opportunities to get better.
Okay, so here's a direct question based on that for you listening. When things get really hard, what's your default? Do you double down, find another way, push through, or do you tend to pull back, maybe scale down the goal?
That self-awareness is key.
Mm.
It tells you a lot about your operational grit right now.
Definitely something to reflect on.
And Coach Padalecki actually offers a practical way to do that. He calls it your grit inventory.
Okay, like a self-check.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's basically asking yourself questions based on those 4 pillars we just discussed.
So like?
Passion. Are you really invested, truly care about what you're pursuing? Practice. Are you putting in those deliberate reps consistently?
Daily.
Purpose. Does your work serve something or someone beyond just your own ambition? And hope, when you hit those inevitable setbacks, do you stay in the game? Do you keep pushing?
That's a really useful framework for self-assessment.
It is. And Coach P follows it up with a simple challenge. Find just one of those areas where you can improve by just 1% today.
Just 1%, not a massive overhaul.
No. It reinforces his point about micro-commitments. Big achievements rarely happen overnight.
Right, they're built up.
They're the result of accumulating all those small, consistent efforts, those tiny commitments, day after day, over time.
That really is the core message for anyone driving for excellence, isn't it?
It really is. It's not about some magic bullet or sudden transformation. It's the daily grind, the dedication, sticking with your passions, having that bigger purpose, and holding on to hope when things get tough.
So the takeaway from Coach Ed Padalecki is clear. Keep showing up. Now, here's something to think about as we wrap up. What's one small, maybe even tiny action you can commit to doing today that, if you did it consistently every single day for the next year, could genuinely create a significant positive shift in reaching your most important goals? Just one small thing.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We hope this gives you some food for thought as you continue on your journey.